Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
I'm Robert McBride, and this is Everyday People, a program in which we investigate the lives of people making a difference in our community. Great. Good afternoon. This is Robert McBride from the Rockingham Arts and Museum Project with another program on everyday people, people in our community making a difference and focusing on the arts, and particularly in the arts in Bellows Falls, and as it connects to the bigger picture of Vermont, the Vermont Creative Network. So on today's program, we have a group of local artists that have been meeting over a period of years anyway, in what we call the Koffe Klatch, about once a month, that focuses on different things and as sort of a support group of marketing and stuff, etc. So on today's program, we have 5 different artists, and I'm going to let each one introduce themselves and talk very briefly about their work, and hopefully while they're talking, some images of their work will pop up. So let's start with Scott Morgan.
Hey, Robert. Hey, everyone. Well, I'm a painter, primarily abstract expressionism. I work on canvas, and I also work on custom painting guitars for musicians and for collectors. I live in Bellows Falls. I share studio space with some of the other artists here on the Koffe Klatch, and nice to meet you all.
That's great, man. Nice hood you have there. I want to live in that apartment, man. Is that in Bellows Falls?
Yes, it is.
That looks great. No, really nice. So your work looks fantastic in that environment. Great. How about hearing from Chris Sherwin?
Hi, everybody. Chris Sherwin. I'm here at Sherwin Art Glass, 33 Bridge Street. Scott Morgan shares space in my studio area. I've been here since 2005. I do hand sculpted and blown glass. I've been doing it for about 27 years, but again, set up in Bellows Falls since 2005. And I've been working with Robert pretty much ever since on the Artist Town meetings and part of the Bellows Falls Koffe Klatch. So nice to be with you all. I'm open most days. Come on by.
Great, great, great. And if we didn't quite see a couple of Chris's pieces, I'm sure they'll pop up later in the show. And since we're in that building, there is another glass artist worker, Nick Kekik. And Nick Kekik.
Kekik or Kekich.
Kekik.
Yeah. Thank you, Robert. It's quite
Okay,
all right.
man.
It's quite all right. Hello, everybody. Yeah, so I'm right next door to Chris Sherwin. I've been here for a little over 3 years, previously in Chester, Vermont. And the really cool thing about the building in which Chris and I and Scott are located is that we're right next door to a canal here in Bellows Falls, the oldest canal in America. It is this building is powered by the hydroelectric power from the canal. So that's really kind of was a big draw, and the community being in part of a Bellows Falls arts community has been really fun and really rewarding. I enjoy the camaraderie, and even through the pandemic, using the Zoom medium here has been really helpful for us to be together, I think. So just want to say hello. Thanks for inviting us, Robert. And we'd often do this, I guess, but we're often not being recorded or broadcast. So this is kind of exciting.
Yeah. Yep, we are being recorded. And 33 Bridge Street, where Chris, Scott, and Nick are is sort of a subset. There's other artists there too. Wool FM radio's there. So it's kind of a great little hub of activity within a building too, which is great. So let's hear from Claire Adams.
Hi there. I'm an artist out in Cambridgeport. So my studio is at the end of a dirt road, just on the border of Rockingham. I'm a painter and a printmaker, and my most recent work has been painting on glass. So I used recycled glass and enamel paints and put them in a kiln to fire them. So it's been a real exciting adventure to learn that technique. And also it's been great over the pandemic to have worked with this group, the Koffe Klatch group, and sharing our artwork and what we're doing and ideas, and just have the camaraderie of other artists.
Great. Charles Norris Brown.
I am Charles. I live in the Exeter Block and work in the Exeter Block here in Bellows Falls. My studio is unofficially called the Distant Thunder Studio. I work with figurative things and arts, as you can see in my image there, ink drawing. And I work with writing and illustrating children's books. And right now we're working on turning that one into a play with children in Nepal. So that's me.
Great, 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 Charles. Thank you. And Jeanette Staley.
You're muted, Jeanette.
Sorry.
There you go.
I'm Jeanette. I've been a collage artist and painter for about 30 years. And then I went to graduate school where they said, well, you could do whatever you want. So I started playing with video and sound and doing other things. So that's been fun. So now I do all kinds of things. And but I often take the images that I've painted and create fabrics with them, and then create projected giant images. And so I'm playing with the things that I'm painting. So it's been fun to be part of this group and think about how to be an artist in this community and to be an artist outside of this community with all of these people.
Right, right. Yep. I think that's one of the great challenges of Vermont is we like being here and being artists and the lifestyle, but it's often difficult because of the little population and stuff that we really definitely have to have a connection with the bigger world, probably in selling our work and stuff too. And that's great. So this group, these people we've just introduced, have sort of been part of a group of artists that have met consistently for 3 or 4 years now, at least. And often it would come together around the Vermont State Craft Tour that was in Memorial Day weekend, getting together to plan in advance for that. And also with sort of the desire to hook up more artists to that weekend on the map so that several dots would show up in Bellows Falls as a concentration of artists. And when people are trying to make their choice where to go, thinking of maybe just coming to the town, parking their car once and being able to go to 5, 6, 10, 11 studios, throughout the day and have lunch and everything. But, and then the group kind of with the last Arts Council open studio thing sort of being with COVID got sort of, they did one last year, but it was all virtual. The artists as artists, we still wanted to get together and kind of keep in touch with each other and sort of support each other. So, that's my kind of perspective on this Koffe Klatch and how it's developed. And now, the artists are working together really more about talking about ways of marketing their work and stuff, and have created a Facebook page. So would someone like to talk a little bit about Art in Bellows Falls as the Facebook page and that idea emerging? Well, I'll pick someone. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Jeanette, you'd be perfect.
Yeah, I can say Jeanette too.
Yeah.
But I think you captured it pretty well, Robert.
Yeah.
That's exactly kind of how we've emerged and evolved over time, was meeting in person originally once a month, and it was orchestrated around Open Studio. And then we kind of collectively decided, well, how can we, work together to support each other through our various projects, and especially in the last year since COVID, and started meeting across Zoom usually. And Art in Bellows Falls was born. We have a Facebook and an Instagram page collective. There are areas for each of us to showcase our work. We're looking to cross promote each other through our websites, which is in the works right now. but you can find some of our events on the Facebook page and the Instagram page.
So yeah, and sort of a little bit about the philosophy, Jeanette, maybe talk of the Facebook page. I mean, it's definitely not an exclusive concept. It's to be inclusive. And maybe we'll ask each of the artists after Jeanette talks to talk about, like, you know, what their vision or hopes or why they're connected with it or what they see, you know, coming out of it. So do you feel like talking a little bit about it, Jeanette?
Sure.
Okay.
I
Thanks.
think I mean, our hope for the Facebook page Art in Bellows Falls is kind of the best of Facebook, right? Like that it's about connection, that which is this group is about connecting in our little microcosm community, and then being able to also connect to the outside. And so the Facebook page is there for anyone, to any artist, to share what it is they're doing. If they're doing a concert, if they're doing spoken word, if they've got a show coming up, they just want to share something they made in their backyard, whatever it might be. Art in Bellows Falls is a great place to share that. We want to be able to share with new people who are coming to the area who it is we are. So, and artists are very much who it is we are in Bellows Falls. Because we're not just artists, right? We're also activists, and we're business owners, and we're all kinds of things. We're doing all kinds of different work besides, in addition to creating. And so we hope that people will upload their photos and information about things that they see going on in Art in Bellows Falls.
Yeah. Scott, do you have a little comments about participating in the Koffe Klatch and or the Facebook page? And I know for years you've been really working a lot of different angles about your work and reaching out. And you bring a lot of interesting perspective to the conversations we've had because of how far you've thrown yourself out there in certain ways, and the lessons you've learned, and the roads to take and not to take. Because with all this media stuff, it's just like, you do everything, or where do you really focus your energy?
Well, it's nice to hear you think I'm trying all these different things, and I am trying. I keep throwing spaghetti on the wall. I think we all are, and but luckily we have each other. You know, this is a really beautiful little town we have too. It's right on the river. It's really scenic. So, as Jeanette mentioned, you know, we're trying to promote artists, but in our town as well, and it's a beautiful area, and we're really lucky to have each other, because it's really easy to hide out in Vermont in your little place and up in your farm, in your barn somewhere. But it's nice that we could all almost walk to each other's homes, except for maybe Claire. But it's really nice. The camaraderie, like Nick said, is important, and we just all keep trying different things. But now we get to share that with each other. So the resource is great, and we're not having coffee together, but we're having other things. So.
Great, cool, great,
Yeah.
great. Charles, do you have any comments? Charles, usually, thank God, is the one on the call that will take minutes for us and notes, so we can kind of track some of the stuff that happened during the meetings too. So any perspective you bring?
I'm taking some notes.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, for me, the Koffe Klatch has been really helpful in just bringing myself out of my studio, like Scott said, and getting myself involved with local artists in addition to RAMP. And it's the only way to go, really, is to start to organize in a way. The artists get together and organize and create little groups to help support each other. Yeah, that's my take on it.
Great. And we'll get a few comments from Claire too.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's really been great to share the ideas about the media and the technology. I feel like I'm a step behind everybody else with the technology and the social media. So to kind of keeps me abreast of what everybody's doing and how I can participate. And try to keep up with everybody.
One of the things none of us saw coming, of course, was COVID and the pandemic. And so, with that curve thrown at us, just an open kind of question to everyone, what kind of like challenges and opportunities has that presented us with as artists living in our community or stuff? I mean, in a certain way, I think it's evolved us in a way. I don't feel like we're ever going to go back to the way things were. So out of that evolution, what are some of the challenges or, like I said, opportunities that anyone might see in relation to their own work? And as artists, helping in the community to move the community forward and help bring it out of COVID.
I think it's been interesting. It's interesting to think about a year. Like it's been a year. And I have a website now that's very different than my website a year ago. I've had an online, I think we've all at this point experienced online open studios weekends, like the Putney Craft Tour, and there are some other ones. We've all had different, those are new experiences that I don't think they're gonna always be with us. They'll be in addition to open studios. We'll be able to do online open studios so that we can include more people, include a wider audience. I think when I think about what's happened in a year, how many things have changed, that paying more attention to marketing, trying new marketing that I've never even heard of, let alone learning about it and instituting it. That's just the business part of it, not, the work is definitely still, I think, simmering for me, my creative work. But
Yeah.
I think it's
Anyone else
exciting.
want to jump in on that?
Well, the pandemic I think it's given us all a new perspective on, where we're coming from and where we're going. It's kind of shed a new light on everybody's work, I think.
Yeah, I think it motivated me to prepare for the future. It's sort of a wake-up call. So I really spent more of the year online and working online and trying to get set up for online sales than I did in my studio. So it wasn't a great creative year for me in retrospect, but sort of a wake-up call to get ready for the future. And I think this is where we're all headed. So, I think it's a good thing.
Right. I would agree. It's forced anybody that didn't have a website before, probably came out of this with one. I think no matter what your trade, what your profession, whether you're even an artist or not, everybody's been trying to figure out how to work from home. Right. So I think we all also, whether it's the sales piece or, the moral support we might have had from doing shows, where you're interacting with community people that, are other artists on a similar path, but you never get to see. We're all missing that now too. And I think the Zoom thing, we've all gotten a little more comfortable with. I do know that there was a lot more resources out there for people if they wanted to build a website, whether it was a grant or some small business loan opportunities. So that I think has been a silver lining. It kind of pushed people out onto the virtual world of virtual showroom. So like it or not, I think they'll go back to doing in-person shows but they'll probably still keep the virtual events running too, because I think they can, promoters can, keep costs down and get more people involved and spread a wider net. That's a great thing. So there are some silver linings, I would say. So yeah, chiming in on my part too. Yeah.
Perfect chime.
Yeah. Oh my God. Did that just chime? Did you guys hear that?
Yeah. That was you chiming in.
Time.
I did. I'm going to mute it. Oh my God.
Any other comments about it, Chris or
I don't know if I
Charles?
have anything necessarily to add. I think that's pretty much it. We were I know I never had been on a Zoom call prior to a year ago, and all of my shows got canceled. Some of them went to doing an open kind of a Zoom forum where we either had to do an open studio 3-minute, selfie video, or we did a live Zoom session where we were doing a demonstration through live, or was submitted by a video format. And I've done a lot of kind of lunch and learn, meet the artist sessions through Zoom. So that was a learning experience, to be sure. Shooting video for the first time and uploading it, editing it, that was something that I'm still kind of, Scott and I have kind of yammered back and forth, trials and tribulations on how to edit videos and get those uploaded to YouTube. So there's definitely been some things that we've had to work on, but I think in the long run will make us better all around marketing people, business people, as well as artists and artisans, and better able to kind of showcase our work in different formats. So it's been beneficial that way, for sure.
I think it's been a really great, I agree totally. It's been a really great mutual learning experience, how to use digital media and digital interface in general, which I've always wanted to know, and it's given me a good chance to do that in connection with my work.
Yeah. And what about sales? And if people compare their sales over the last few years, what was there a dip? Did sales increase for some people?
No, I think I had a loss in sales.
Yeah.
I think Chris anecdotally had said as much too. And it's certainly forced more through the internet. Like, we're not doing live events. So if there are any events you're doing, it's virtual, and you better hope you got a website and where you're doing e-commerce, or, it has been really, really challenging, I think, to expect the same kind of model to work for many of us. So, but yeah, hopefully things will return when people feel comfortable visiting showrooms and doing more live events, and hopefully, we'll also have an internet retail market over the internet where you can sell worldwide. I mean, that's a great concept. So, hopefully people, I think, will still use that. So
I wonder about it picking up now that some of these new homes and new residents to Vermont, people have done a lot of shifting and migrating over the last year. And I just wonder, as that settles in, if galleries might pick up. I don't know, but I'm curious about it. There's always, right? There's always a comeback after these kinds of hits that we take.
I'm really hoping that once the pandemic eases up, people are really going to want to get out there and see art in the flesh. And that's really what it's all about, is connecting with the work in person.
Yeah, this might be just the way it was for us. This might be a boon for the galleries, because they've been going downhill for years and losing action in the galleries. So this might be good for them to relook at things too. I know when we talked to Greg down in Brattleboro, he seemed pretty positive about things. So
yeah.
And before, in case we all forget, let's in closing too, we should invite any artists that are watching this to go to our Facebook page and say hi and join our, say hi to us. And maybe we're not inclusive at all. We'd love to have more artists join us. So just want to mention that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott.
I might note that my approach to art is a two-dimensional art, and it is being sold through the gallery here in Bellows Falls, this Canal Street Art Gallery. The Canal Street Art Gallery has been doing a lot of outreach on the internet and marketing digitally. And I've sold some things even to places like Italy and New York City through the gallery itself. So this has been a very good chance for me to get my stuff sold.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would really urge people that aren't familiar with downtown Bellows Falls, that it's a very walkable community downtown, and bookstore, hardware store, the gallery over at 33 Bridge Street. So, you know, in a way, it's come through the pandemic very intact. Of course, our restaurants, that whole restaurant scene has been difficult to accommodate and stuff, but it's opening up and stuff. So it's really actually a very pleasant place to come and just walk around the square and down by the canal and everything, and check out what's going on. Really, and it's a brick village. It's an industrial village. It's not, you know, Vermont is very rural, but we have a rural industrial center based on the Connecticut River. So it's not the little perfect green or something like that. So I find it a very dynamic downtown. That's a very old downtown and stuff. I think we're just about at our end. So we would encourage people to go to the Bellows Falls Facebook page, check it out. If they want to join it, join it. I want to thank our different artists for once again kind of coming together and share some of their thoughts. Then we had Claire Adams, Scott Morgan, Jeanette Staley, Chris Sherwin, Nick Gick, and did I do it right? And Charles Norris Brown. And I want to thank Fact TV for being such a great resource in the community and for allowing stories like this to be told. And Alex and Colin down there are doing a really terrific job. So we should always remember to support our local cable access stations. And then I want to also thank the Vermont Arts Council and the National Endowment for the Arts, Chroma Technology, and the Wyndham Foundation, and all individuals out there that help support the Rockingham Arts and Museum Project so we can bring you programming like this. So until the next time, see you on the square.
Thank you, Robert.
Bye.
Thank you, Fact TV.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you, Colin and Zach.
Bye.
Thank you.